Enterprise architecture is the deliberate practice of linking an organization's high-level strategy directly to its ground-level IT execution. Public sector policymakers frequently operate on the assumption that publishing a comprehensive technical framework will automatically generate digital transformation across all agencies. In Malaysia, MyGov EA serves as the public sector's technical blueprint. It provides a standardized methodology and architectural components. But MyGov EA functions as a structural guideline, a catalog of what to build, rather than a behavioral mechanism for how an organization actually adopts change. This creates a paradox at the local government level. Local authorities, known as PBTs, have access to these national technical guidelines, yet consistently default to operating siloed, disconnected systems. Municipal councils pay for redundant applications, maintain fragmented data with unclear ownership, and remain locked into vendor contracts. Transformation failures persist when the boundary between technical guidelines and organizational readiness is ignored. Solving this requires separating enterprise architecture implementation from enterprise architecture adoption. Implementation is the physical building of artifacts, systems, and code. Adoption is the preceding requirement, the organizational process of assessing internal readiness, structuring governance hierarchies, and building human competency to accept architectural principles. Attempting physical execution without completing this adoption phase causes initiatives to shatter upon contact with organizational reality. Bridging the gap between national digital policy and local execution requires a context-driven adoption framework entirely decoupled from technical execution. To address local government IT failures, research must move past the technology being built to analyze the behavioral mechanisms of how local agencies accept change. Look at this diagram of public sector data. Previous EA adoption models in Malaysia rely on massive, aggregated datasets like this, but this creates a unit of analysis error. Grouping massive federal ministries with small municipal districts masks their specific needs. A federal agency operates with vast budgets and dedicated ICT units. A local municipality manages daily public services like waste and licensing with highly varied technical staff. Their drivers for adopting new technology are incompatible. Research methodology must shift. We have to isolate the unit of analysis strictly to the local level to capture the sheer diversity of municipal environments. Extracting valid data from this fragmented environment requires utilizing the first-hand experiences of the ICT, strategic, and operational officers doing the actual work. Recognizing the statistical illusion created by aggregated data is the only way to accurately diagnose why standard IT policies fail inside city halls. This matrix compares federal agencies against PBTs. First, the mandate. Federal agencies execute national policy, while councils focus on daily operations. Next, governance. Federal is centralized, but councils answer to dual mechanisms. Finally, finances. National agencies get large budgets, while councils rely on local taxes. This creates extreme internal heterogeneity regarding IT capacity among the local authorities themselves. A highly funded city council might run advanced smart city deployments. An underfunded district council may struggle to retain a single dedicated IT officer. This heterogeneity has a direct implication for enterprise architecture. Any proposed adoption framework for local governments must be a modular system, actively adaptable to vastly different states of financial and digital maturity. Because MyGov EA is a technical manual lacking in adoption theory, a bespoke theoretical model must be engineered from the ground up to handle this municipal heterogeneity. The central structural pillar of this model is the Technology Organization Environment, or TOE framework. But TOE alone fails to account for complex political pressures unique to local government, so we introduce institutional theory as the second pillar. The final element is individual factors, as human competency constraints act as a primary barrier. Fusing these three models creates a tool to identify the specific organizational friction points a municipal council faces before procurement begins. A theoretical model only gains value in public administration through rigorous, real-world validation. By utilizing a multi-phase qualitative approach, we can capture the specific contextual mechanisms of real councils. Phase 1 extracts empirical themes directly from diverse PBT case studies. Phase 2 subjects the resulting framework to strict expert consensus. This utilizes the Delphi methodology, relying on multi-round anonymous review. It forces alignment among experts while eliminating bias. Phase 3 tests the framework's immediate practicality, running scenario-based usability workshops with actual target users inside local councils. This sequence, from empirical reality to expert consensus to field usability, targets the specific survival requirements of a municipal IT department. We return to the paradox: rigid national blueprints failing against the chaotic reality of local government. The newly validated PBT adoption framework sits directly between these two opposing forces. It functions as a translation engine, converting static national mandates into modular, actionable steps that respect local financial and technical capacity. The outputs of this translation are specific. It establishes baseline readiness, identifies priority factors, and forms localized governance structures. All of these outputs must be generated before any technical deployment or software procurement begins. The framework does not replace the national technical blueprint. It serves as its vital prerequisite, ensuring an organization is ready to accept the architecture. Treating digital transformation purely as a technological upgrade guarantees systemic failure in heterogeneous environments. The decision to adopt an architecture must be completely decoupled from the act of implementing it. By utilizing a validated adoption framework, any local authority can intentionally architect their organizational capacity. This approach protects local governments from vendor exploitation, reduces wasted tax revenue, and aligns IT investment directly with public service mandates. The success of digital transformation depends on the structural mechanisms built to govern technology, far more than the technology itself.